Wine number 7, talking about investment, this is from ISXIR. And ISXIR was set up in 2008 in North Lebanon. They're in Batroun. And we went there. When we went there, the winery is still under construction. And I think I'm right in saying they've spent something like $10 million on it.
Around 9 million.
9 million, only 9 million. Who's counting, eh? So $9 million. And you're probably thinking, well, there's somebody with a lot of money behind this, and you'd be quite right, because one of the owners is the CEO of Nissan and Renault, and it's Carlos Gusson. How do you like that? Carlos Gusson, and many of you will know, he's an auto industry magnate. And this is a place where, this is no expense spared at this place. And Hubert Dubois from Saint-Emilion is the consultant here, and the winemaker is Spanish, actually, called Gabriel Rivero. And Gabriel Rivero is from Ribera del Duero, and he was previously the winemaker at Kefraya. So a lot of experience of making wines in Lebanon. They're unusual in Lebanon. They buy grapes from all over the country. Most of the wineries we're seeing today, they're actually growing their own grapes and making their own wines. And ISXIR is unusual that they buy in grapes. They say it gives them greater flexibility to be able to buy in a variety of microclimates and from north to south. So in terms of altitude, their vineyards vary from 1,700 metres to 300 metres. So big difference in terms of altitude. This is sort of the south of the north, I would say, in terms of where it is. Would that be correct?
Yeah, the south of the north.
Yeah, the south of the north. Right. Okay. I mean, am I right in saying there are no grapes grown south of Beirut?
No. In fact, Captain Karam's wines are grown in Jazine. He's in the South Lebanon.
Yes, you're south of Beirut. Yeah. Okay. Captain Karam is the only. There he is. Okay. This is the Grand Reserve, and this is where this is a different wine where they're allowing Syrah to take the upper hand. So 61% Syrah with 39% Cabernet. Very, very modern, even international style, I would say. 60% new oak. You can see that sort of Saint-Emilion influence, not in terms of the selection of grape varieties, but possibly in terms of the alcohol, the richness, the tannin management. The Hubert Dubois is a class act, and this is a winery with a lot of money behind it. This is a very, very ambitious place, and we're just seeing the initial vintages from this winery. You ain't seen nothing yet, really. We're at, 2008 it was set up. We're now in 2011. I think over the next 10 years, we're going to see some very special things coming out of this place because there's a lot of talent and a lot of investment behind the winery.
And Tim, if you don't mind me saying, ISXIR is something of a pioneer in Batroun in the north of the country, because what we have there now is 8 more smaller producers who are not here at the fair, but who are setting up their wineries in the north. And I think it's very encouraging for the Lebanese wine sector and the development of the sector to have wine producers who are looking beyond the Bekaa to plant their vines. I think this gives the potential for greater variety in the style of Lebanese wines and gives the country an opportunity to test the so far relatively untested terroir in the country. I mean, ISXIR is in the north, we have Captain Karam in the south. I'm hoping that a lot more producers will set up shop elsewhere other than the Bekaa, so we can really diversify, get a diversity of styles.
I think that's exactly right. I made this point earlier that it is a very old wine industry, but I think it's a very modern wine industry, and I think we're just starting to see the potential of Lebanon to produce wines, not only in the Bekaa, but also, as Michael says, in some of these new terroirs at altitude. Okay, so that was I like this wine. Again, I think it's very international, or not very international, but it's quite international in style. It's probably the most international of these wines. It's very polished, There's a lot of oak. It's a young wine, and I think it's built to last. But I think pretty smartly made wine, personally.